Hey everybody. So I am really excited to do an interactive walkthrough on Data Dive and show you guys the power of this software and tool and how to use it properly. So I'm going to do a live example of a product that was suggested right before we started recording. We're going to do a pet bed or dog bed, I guess. And we're going to show you how to pull a master keyword sheet, how to look at the data, how to clean it up, and how to use the tool a little bit, and then analyze whether it's a good opportunity. And if one of your products was one of the ones you analyzed, how to optimize your products. So from an M&A perspective, it's pretty similar to understanding whether there's any upside to purchasing a brand. Like if you're going to buy the brand, has the owner done a good job of optimizing it and taking advantage of that market as much as they could? Is there any room on the upside? And from a user standpoint, like an individual user, if you're looking to add additional products or launch your first product, you can look at the market as a whole and understand how good are your competitors. Are they doing a good job meeting the demand? How big is the demand? How many keywords are driving sales? And learn more from a data perspective to make a better decision to maximize your opportunity for profits and ranks and success. So that's what we like to do here. If you guys still have your hand raised, you can lower them. I'm sorry about that. And we are going to get started with our demo. But first, I wanted to introduce Glenn and Florin. Glenn are Inner Circle members, and they came together along with another member to start this process of automating some of the Inner Circle teachings and processes, the master keyword list. And that is what Data Dive has been grown from. So they are still partners and part of the program, and very much appreciated. And so if you have any questions on the technical side, Florin as the CTO is usually the one that may answer, part of our team, and Glenn does a lot of the customer support and operations as well. So these are two guys that you may have interacted with if you have any questions. Show you exactly what we're looking at. Now, normally I use the Diaper Caddy. You guys might know that if you follow any of my content. I do that because I don't like to burn a product. And I feel like one of the biggest things that I've seen that bothered me a lot was when I would see someone like Jungle Scout or one of these other gurus put out a list of products you should launch in 2022 or whatever. And it's like 50 products that immediately tank. So I don't like to do that. And I like to try to stay consistent with the products I do. But for this one, I want to do a brand new product so you guys can see the process. This thing is in my way. Okay, hopefully you guys can't see that, but all right. So we are going to do dog bed. That was the suggestion, right, Glenn? Or
yeah, that was one. Dog bed. Yeah.
Okay. So normally here, the strategy is that you would want to find the keyword that is most likely to have the best sellers on it. Okay. The reason is that, and what we find is that often the 5 best sellers may not be all on the same keyword, or the 15 best sellers may not be on the first 2 pages of the same keyword. And that becomes an issue when trying to find all of the keywords that potentially drive sales for a product. Now, this one's going to be a little different because there's a lot of different sizes and variations and stuff, but we're going to see, and we're going to assume that that dog bed is the best keyword. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Helium 10's X-ray tool here. And you'll see right away that the Data Dive extension lays on top of X-ray. So you will need a Helium 10 subscription in order to use Data Dive. We highly recommend Helium 10 for many reasons. Their keyword tracker, X-ray tool, and Cerebro, which is their reverse ASIN tool, which is where we pull some of our data. Now, we pull data from many sources you'll see, but it lays right over here across this Helium 10 X-ray tool. Now, I'm going to first load more results. And that way I'm getting the first 2 pages of results, 120 results between ads and organic. And once I sort these by sales, I'm going to give you a couple things to look at. The first, and this does have a lot of search volume, so it's likely one of the best keywords for this product. It's very straightforward. So I've sorted by sales, and what I want to do is I'm going to look at some of these products, and I'm going to make a decision. When I'm looking at a potential type of product, there's a few different directions you can go, and I recommend making several dives, several master keyword lists. One is going to be for the overall market. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at the overall market of dog beds. The second type of list you should make is more of a niche list. It's going to be the type of dog bed you want to do. I see that you have an orthopedic one that has a pillow built into the side of it, right? If that's the style you want to do, then you want to find the 15 best sellers of that type of dog bed and then do a list just with those. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight down the list pretty much and select just the best sellers of dog beds. And you can see this is a very competitive niche, a lot of, a high volume niche, a lot of sales. We'll see how competitive it is in a second with the data. So I'm going to go down this list, and what you'll notice is that we have sponsored brand with an organic next to it. I'm going to select the organic. I'm not going to select both, and I'm going to avoid selecting variations of the same listing. It's possible that that happens because you will have 2 pages of results and you might have 2 sponsored products from the same listing. If they're advertising variations as well. So we're going to go down this list again. Again, I'm going to just choose, and I have active pets here. It's 2 different variations. One they're advertising, one is the hero that actually shows up on the keyword. And I am going to just select these. Okay, and I've got 11, 12, and you can see the number going up as I do it. I've got 15 selected. So let me go ahead and dive. Now, once you dive, you're going to have to grant it permissions to access your G Suite so that it can create a sheet for you. So hopefully you've done that, but you can see in the back end, it's working to pull data from Cerebro, from Google Trends, from Amazon, and from Keepa. We recommend downloading the Keepa extension because it's going to give you some additional insights into the competitors. And there's going to be a tab there that we use that data for, so you can really analyze how good your competition is. This should take about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. I don't know who drew on that, so I'm just going to stop sharing and then share again. Let's not draw on the screen. All right. Now, we're working on the back end with a lot of servers. We have a lot of programmers making this faster and faster. But there's a lot more to the sheet we're building. And within the next couple months, you should expect this to not work within Google Sheets anymore. It will be a standalone product. So that's what we're working towards now. We have a beta that we're testing internally on that end. So should be another 10 or 20 seconds here. Props to the team for building this neat thing. Keeps you entertained.
They're asking for a link for PPC Masterclass, Brandon, which you'll do at the end.
Yeah, that's seller-systems.com /PPC Masterclass. But I'm going to give you guys, for everyone that subscribes to Data Dive today, I'm going to give you guys free access to that. So we will work on that. So, but what you're seeing here, let me move this over here a little bit so I can see you guys and me. I want to make sure that I've got all 15 results. I do. Okay. This is a little small for some of you. If you're on mobile, you can actually zoom in, which is great. I will zoom in a second, but I just want to show you the overall sheet. This is what we call a master keyword list. This was the foundation for what we created with Data Dive. And there are many other sheets that we're going to get into, but you need to understand what you're looking at here. We've got the 15 best competitors here that we selected. And we're looking at some information from these competitors, like the number of sales, the reviews, their rating, and keyword information. On down here, we have every keyword that we feel is really driving sales for this product. And we've sorted it by what we call relevancy. And now relevancy we establish by the number of these competitors we selected being ranked on the first page for that keyword. Remember, just from a logical standpoint, the more competitors that are ranked well for a keyword, the more relevant it is. That should be pretty logical, thinking right there. And so we've established a relevancy score in that capacity. And so what we have here is a list of 398 keywords with at least a 3 relevancy and at least 350 monthly searches. That's a lot of keywords that people are using to find this product. That's great. We want to find products that have at least 20 or 30 keywords. We don't want to do products with very few keywords because that represents something that anyone can get lucky and compete on. We want to take advantage of the fact that we can find these keywords. So we want to choose products with a lot of keywords, if that makes sense. So now you're seeing that is a combined from those 398 keywords, there are 3 million search volume. That's a lot. And what we're seeing over here is we have the percentage of those keywords that people are ranked well for and the percentage of search volume that they are ranked well for. Anyone that is near 80% or more is very, very good at Amazon. And we haven't cleaned this list up. So before I clean this list up, and I'm going to explain how to do that, I want you to understand what our SOP typically is. Because once we clean up the list, we might remove some keywords that we want to know about. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see, okay, from a dirty list, which is what we call a brand new list, how competitive is this product? Well, it's very competitive. There's a lot of oranges and a red. A lot of oranges and red means it's super competitive. This is very risky product. Makes sense. Most of these sellers are good or very good at Amazon. Once we clean it up, they might even be better. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this section here, these outlier keywords. These outlier keywords we establish based on only 1 or 2 of these competitors we selected being ranked well for them. And they have a minimum search volume that we've selected and a minimum rank that we've selected. And what we do is we look at them on a different sheet. This competitor here that is selling 48,000 units a month is selling more units than the guy that he has 78% of this 3 million search volume from this sheet. He has less search volume than this guy who is at 83%, but he has more sales. And the reason being is because he has these 16 keywords he's ranked well on with an additional 462,000 search volume. This guy only has an additional 17 keywords with 129,000 search volume. So this guy, what we're doing is we're painting the picture to answer the most important question when you're analyzing a market. How are our competitors getting their sales? That's super important to answer. And so now we're seeing this complete picture where we've got a number of units that they're selling. We've got search volume attributed to that. We've got additional search volume that's attributed to that. Let's take a look at what those outlier keywords are. And I'm going to select the outlier keywords tab. And I'm going to have this list here that's sorted by search volume where 1 or 2 competitors are ranked well. You'll notice that dog crate, which isn't necessarily a keyword that is related to a dog bed. Now, you would put a dog bed in a crate, but it isn't the same thing, right? This guy here is ranked 13th for that, and no one else is even indexed for it. Now, indexed means that Amazon thinks it's relevant. It means that they've built it into their listing and are able to take advantage of it. And what you're seeing here is that this guy wrote it into their listing, targeted it with PPC, ranked well for it, and is staying ranked well for it, and is making sales from it. So they're taking advantage from a keyword that you might be able to take advantage of as well. Now, let's be realistic. When you first launch, some of these outlier keywords are not going to be easy to target or to take advantage of or to outrank these guys that are already crushing it. They are making sales. You have to understand Amazon's ranking algorithm, which is advanced teaching that we do in the inner circle. But you have to understand that revenue, click-through rate, conversion rate, all of it is better for someone that's well established, right? So they're going to be making sales from hundreds and hundreds of keywords like we see. When you first launch, it's going to be difficult to compete with that. So these outlier keywords are less likely to be something you can target and outrank them for right away, but it's something you want to build into your listing eventually, take advantage of, maybe keep in your listing for indexing and relevancy, and then target down the road with your launch or growth. So what we're seeing here is where's this guy who's the #1 seller making an insane amount of sales, 48,000 units. Where's he getting his other sales from? Well, he is 29th for dog. That's super, random. Cat beds and furniture. This guy managed to get cat beds because this one might fit both, right? Let's see. This one is 20th. Dog accessories. Again, a very generic keyword. You have a lot of 307s here, which means they're not even indexed. And what you'll notice is when you're doing keyword research, you'll see patterns. You have to break the keywords into what we call roots, and we're going to give you that data here as well. But you'll notice that there are patterns in the keyword search term phrases that are repeated. And dog accessories has a keyword that dog as a root, which should be in everyone's listing. Obviously, it's a dog bed, but they have accessories. Now, I don't see accessories necessarily in these listings because I see 307. That means that they may have failed, and you have a couple. No, it's up here. Sorry. You have a couple that have built it in or been indexed for accessories, but this guy in particular has done a good job of creating ranking juice and established himself for dog accessories with 86,000 search volume. Now, what's big is dog stuff. Again, someone is searching for dog stuff because they don't know what they need. They just know they got a puppy or a dog and they need to buy dog stuff, and they know they need a bunch of different stuff. So they search for dog stuff. Well, he's number 2 for dog stuff. It has 53,000 searches a month. And a lot of people, again, are 307. They don't have the word stuff in their listing or dog and stuff close enough together to take advantage of that keyword. So you're finding gold nuggets here in these outlier keywords that some of the better sellers are taking advantage of that they're not. So this is how you use this tab. You can get an idea. Dog steps for a high bed. That's an interesting thing. Maybe the bed is hard enough to where people can use it as a step. You've got dog supplies, another generic keyword. You see 307s, but you see more people are likely to put that in there. But these guys on the right who are less successful are less likely to have some of these outlier keywords. They weren't as good at doing the keyword research. That usually goes hand in hand. So if we go back over here to the master keyword list, we have a few different things we can do to clean it up. The next thing we're going to do is clean it up. We're going to look for keyword roots. We're going to look for words that are not relevant to what we're selling. We saw one. Generally, this is where we will go through and we will remove brand names. We will remove keywords that are just not relevant to what we think we can get sales from. So we're going to go to the exclude these keywords tab, and you can go individually and you can just click the keyword. Here's a Spanish term, 3,000 search volume, high relevancy. I highly recommend using Spanish. It's a very fast growing language. You got Serta. Serta is interchangeable. It's a mattress company, but maybe a lot of people think that they want to get a comfortable mattress for their dogs. I don't think Serta's in the dog bed category. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but they're not on this list. But Serta dog beds, you still have 12 relevancy. So 12 of these 15 best sellers are ranked for Serta. Now, SOG is a misspelling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the exclude these keywords. I'm going to take away SOG as a misspelling, and I am going to take away cat, right? Because that was another one that I saw. I'm going to, I'm just going to start with those. I don't know what other keywords, but there are other brand names I could add to that. I just want to show you what happens when I remove these 2 keywords. Let me stop sharing. I think I have to grant permission real quick. Continue. You have to authorize it. Takes 2 seconds. Okay. So you'll see that all I did was grant permission. Now I'm going to click here to apply. And if I come back over here to the master keyword list, I went from the 300, I don't remember how many keywords I had, but it was 3 million search volume. Just by removing cat, I've now done that. Now, I might not have wanted to remove cat because there's probably keyword search terms that say dog and cat bed or something with a lot of search volume. I went from 3 million search volume to, and I'm down 250,000 search volume. So I don't know which keywords I excluded by removing it. But it's probably a lot. So I would want to go through those cat keywords and maybe individually clean them up. But you can go through and you can continue to, vibrant life dog bed. I think that's probably a brand name. Kirkland is from Costco. jumbo, odor resistant. You've got a lot of different ways people are searching for dog beds, which make it really a great niche for people who are good at doing keyword research like us. Now, chew proof dog bed, that's a very interesting thing. So what is it made of? That if it's chew proof, it must have a really thick fabric on the outside, really good stitching, a lot of keyword search volume there. And you're seeing things in here once you go through, but you would go through the list individually and clean it up, and you're going to end up with a much more accurate list as to what drives sales for the type of product. And then every time you just come over here and you click apply, and it's going to remove it from the number of keywords, remove it from the search volume, and clean the list. And you could see once I took cat out, look how many competitors now move to very good. You have, instead of 1, it's 4, and more moved up to good. So you have a much, much more competitive niche once you start to clean up that list, which is why it's important to clean it up. You're removing keywords that you don't think you can get sales from. You're removing keywords that aren't relevant. And naturally, the ones that are relevant and can drive sales for the product are going to remain for these guys, and their percentage is going to go up. So it's going to show you the true nature of it once you clean it up. That's why it's important. Now, once it's cleaned up, and this is why I'm not recommending this niche, is because look how competitive it is. It's crazy. Even with our strategy, this would be what we consider a high risk product. We're going to go over here to the deep dive tab. Now, the deep dive tab, what we've done is we've taken the search volume trends from Google and the search volume trends from Amazon, and we bring them into a chart for you to be able to see. A lot of times you'll see another trend line here. But you're seeing like what I was talking about. In 2021, there was a huge spike here. During COVID, during 2020 and 2021, you have huge spikes here. And it is seasonal to an extent. You see ups and downs normally every year. It looks around Christmas time. People get a new dog bed for their dog for Christmas, it looks like. So it is a holiday type of gift. But the trend lines are much higher for 2020 and 2021 because during the lockdown, a lot of people got pets. They wanted some companionship. So there were a lot of new pet owners or new, people that bought dogs during these 2 years. But you're seeing that trend come down. So that's important to know, is that your sales estimates should probably be in line. If we're pulling this data in January and this data is still influenced from Helium 10, if this is still influenced from the holiday season, the normal time of year, non-Q4 time of year, these sales might be a little bit lower. Also, we cannot expect to make as many sales as people were making in 2020 and 2021. So from an aggregator standpoint, the reason that they're using this from an M&A perspective and then whether to purchase a brand for a high multiple is to understand what is the true value of this brand moving forward. Well, a trailing 12 or 24 months is not going to be accurate for what they can expect moving forward. So someone trying to sell their dog bed brand, if they have a savvy buyer, the savvy buyer is going to say, we're expecting the sales to be back down to normal, down to normal, what it was before COVID. And you're kind of seeing those peaks are about the same. So, they're going to look at sales from 3 years ago and try to get an idea of like what to expect. Now, we also go in and we go really deep into the competition. We want to understand how many variations do they have? How good are they at staying in stock? How good is their content? We can click through and look at their listing. We want to know, what are they doing well? What are they doing poorly? Again, this is some deeper strategy that we teach in the inner circle, but you should know what good content is. You should know that the second image should be a benefit to the buyer. It should be that way. You can talk about pricing strategies and variation strategies and how variations work for aggregating sales, for increasing conversion rates, for things like that. There's a lot of strategy there, but we want to just look and see, okay, these best sellers have a ton of variations. This is a product that costs a ton to get in stock and compete because you need to have a lot of options. When someone lands on your listing, you want them to stay there. You want them to choose one of yours, not bounce out and go look back at the search results from Amazon. So this is interesting. Was this the one that was, maybe one of these was ranked well for crates? If you can mute, please. Maybe one of these was the ones ranked well for crates, and you see that their keywords here show that it fits well in a crate. So they probably said dog bed for crate, and that's why they're ranked well for crate, right? So they have it in a broad form. Now we're going to go further down. We're going to just show you that we show you the Keepa data, the trends, the search volume. You see it spiked for Christmas in Q4. You can see some of these are stable. Some of these, this one might be a newer one that's doing well. But let's go over here to this. This is the secret sauce. This is what we've established based on our knowledge of Amazon's ranking algorithm. We give you a real score to maximize your ranking potential for keywords. And this is something that no one else is doing that we want to share with you. And I'm gonna break it down really quickly from a strategy perspective for you. This is important for you to understand. Let's talk about how Amazon's algorithm thinks of ranking and how ranking works and how you get credit for keywords. Okay, this is the most strategy I'm going to give in this video. For more, you're going to need to join the inner circle, right? But that's another story. Now, from Amazon's ranking like their algorithm, the way it works is this: every single product is like a bank. Now, and every single bank has a bunch of bank accounts, and every keyword is one of those bank accounts. All right. Now, every single time there's a micro action, Amazon needs to give attribution to every related keyword that micro action happened on. That micro action might be browsing your reviews. It might be adding your product to cart. It could just be a click onto your listing. It could be a conversion. All of those micro actions are going to lead to you getting credit for hundreds of related keywords to where that action came from. It's also going to lead to you getting micro credit for the way you build your listing. So there's two types of credit happening. There's credit for how you built your listing, and then there's credit for the actual action. Now, the amount of credit you get into that bank account depends on the is there in the bank account. Now, whether you can actually take advantage of that credit and withdraw it from the bank account to maximize your rank depends on how you build your listing. 100% it's based on indexing. So your values for ranking and outranking your competition are normally very relative, okay? It's based on your click-through rate, your conversion rate, your revenue compared to your competition. But whether you can fully take advantage of, it's related to the fourth thing, which is the most important thing, which is relevancy, all right? So when you build your listing, you need to be able to understand where you need to prioritize keywords in your listing to maximize your opportunity to withdraw, and which keywords you should prioritize in which form. So form means exact format, plural format, phrase match, or broad match. Each of those have a different ability to grab a more or less credit, broad being the least, exact being the most. You might not need to write your listing as an exact match in order to take advantage of the full amount of credit in that bank account. You might only need a broad match. You might only need a broad match to beat your competitors because they're also not putting exact matches, right? So again, everything is relevant. And so when we are building our listing, we are going to test many different ways we build it. But what we want to do with this tool is give you a great starting point to where you can maximize your opportunity to withdraw the maximum amount from the most important keywords, the keywords with the most search volume, the most broad search volume, the most likely keywords to generate clicks and sales for you. Maximize click-through rate, maximize conversion rate, and generate a lot of revenue for you. So what we've done is we've prioritized those keywords with what we call ranking juice. We've given a score to them, and now we've put them into a sheet to actually evaluate how good of a job the competition is doing at writing their listing. And you'll see here that this guy has a lower score than someone over here, but he's still making more sales because, again, you don't always need to maximize in order to take advantage of every keyword. But you'll see here that they have exact plurals here for dog's bed because dog's bed is here. But if I were to come back over here, let me go back over this master keyword list. I'm going to sort this by search volume instead. I want to show you something interesting. Now it's by search volume, and then I come back over here to the battle of the titles, and this is going to switch. And now I'm looking at dog bed with a ranking juice of 1.4 million. And I'm seeing everyone has it in exact. This one has it in exact plural because they have pet bed, dog beds, right? Dog beds. So they have exact plural. They're getting less credit for the keyword dog bed, which is why one of the reasons they might be ranked less than these two. And if we come back over here to the master keyword list, I'm very interested to understand what their ranks are for dog bed. And you'll see they're not ranked in the top of that page. These two really good, like these two sellers who are making a lot of sales could make a lot more sales and fly up the ranks of dog bed by just rewriting their listing from their title from dog beds to dog bed. It's that simple. I've seen it done many times. They're already really good and making a lot of sales, but they could be even better. So this is how we teach optimization. And we're looking at what are the opportunities? What are the keywords that we're taking advantage of? And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to give you a tool here. I'm going to copy this listing, and we have our own listing builder that will give you a score for your writing, for your listing. Now take a look at this. I'm going to start with this guy at 10 million. But what I want to do is I want to go down this list with search volume, and I want to see what he's missing. Dog beds and furniture. He's missing furniture. He's missing dog beds for small dogs. I can see he's only a broad plural for these. Maybe he can do a better job of rewrite it. We could rewrite this listing and include some of these bigger keywords into the title to get more ranking juice potential, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these roots that drive that are repeated, words and phrases that are repeated a lot. And I'm going to see which ones he's taking advantage of. And he's got these first ones, but he's missing these. So if I want to take away beds large, right? Beds large dogs, this one here is this pretty much similar. I'm going to choose this one. And I'm going to see which related keywords have this phrase in it. Dog beds for large dogs, huge search volume. He's got it in broad plural. But if he were to rewrite the listing to put that in exact, he might rank a lot better for that phrase. He has an opportunity to outrank his competition because he's going to be able to cash in the full amount of credit he's been getting for every single micro action on dog keywords, beds keywords, large keywords, dogs keywords. So he's going to be able to take advantage of all of the credit in his bank account if he rewrites this in exact form. And right now, he is only doing it in broad plural, which is less than broad. It's a percentage of broad, which is really low. So he is definitely not taking the most advantage he can for dog beds for large dogs. It'd be really interesting to see where he's ranked. Who did I grab? I'm going to see. This is Bedsure. Dog beds for large dogs. This is the one here. Bedsure. He's 21. He could probably be top 5 or top 10 if he rewrites his listing. And you would see an immediate impact to his ranking if he is not cashing out the maximum ranking juice potential. And now with rewriting his title, he now cashes in the maximum ranking juice potential. So it's super important that with that understanding is that your bank account only has so much credit based on your performance, based on the actions, those micro actions, based on your click-through rate, your conversion rate, the revenue. So even if you rewrite it and it doesn't move up, it just means that you're already maximizing what's in that account. So you don't need to necessarily prioritize it in exact. You can prioritize a different one in exact and make that one broad or make that one a different format. But the goal is that when you use this you can learn which keywords to prioritize, rewrite your title a bunch of different times and see which ones you can push up above your competition. And that's what this tool is good for, is to beat your competition and maximize your profit, maximize your success chances, and beat your competition. So let me go ahead. I think we're going to wrap up soon, guys. I wanted to make this soon. I am going to take questions after this. I'm going to tell you how to get access to the free PPC class and to do this. We have additional PPC. Now, let's say I clean up that master keyword list. I'm going to show you this super quick. This is a really cool part of the tool. We have a lot of PPC tools coming out, but once you import for PPC, you're going to be able to, it's going to normalize it for you. Now, very important for you to understand something. This is really, really crucial. For ranking, plural matters. There's a difference in ranking for dog bed versus dog beds. Okay, very different. For you, will be very different ranks for both of those. But for PPC purposes, when you run an exact campaign targeting dog bed, it is also going to target dog beds. Okay, that's why we take the two of these and we combine the search volume and we normalize it, and we remove any conjunctions as well, because Amazon will show it for a dog bed, the dog bed, things like that as well. We want to make sure there's no overlap. So what we do here is we select all of the phrase and broad campaigns that will eliminate overlap for you. And you'll see that if you include dog bed as a phrase, it's going to pop in over here for you, and it's going to tell you that there is an overlap. Now you can purposely make campaigns targeting the same keywords and see which one performs better. But when you're first starting, you probably shouldn't do that because it makes it difficult to optimize, and you need to track that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow in the PPC Masterclass. So for now, what I want to show you is that you can then come over here to the PPC campaigns. You can set up some rules, and you can hit generate my campaigns, and you can launch, let's see, you can launch, I don't know, 50 plus or 100 plus campaigns all at once. It'll generate an upload file. You upload that, and now you have 100 or more campaigns that are running based on the rules you set here. PPC by itself is a 5 or 6 hour masterclass tomorrow. That's why I don't want to get into this too much. It is a lot to talk about, but this tool will make PPC much easier for you and make your life easier for understanding which keywords to target. So that was our walkthrough. I'm going to let you know that for the PPC Masterclass, if you sign up today for the annual campaign, or for the annual subscription for Data Dive, it is normally $1,500. It will be $1,350 for you. So you'll save $150, and you will get the masterclass tomorrow, which is $300. So you'll get the free masterclass plus an extra month for free if you sign up for the annual campaign.
They just need to reach out to me to do the annual subscription. Okay. I'll help them out. That's
okay.
fine.
So what you need to do is you go through to, and subscribe to Data Dive, datadive.tools, then email support@datadive.tools. You'll reach Glenn. Glenn will manually turn it on for you and execute the annual, give you that extra free month. And then at the same time, we'll send you the code to sign up for a free masterclass, the PPC Masterclass for free, a $300 value. So I'm going to end the recording here. I'm going to keep the questions private. And I will stick around for an extra 10 or 12 minutes, and the three of us will answer any questions you guys might have. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this was helpful.